Hey all, Life in China with Patrick, where we bridge the gap between China and the West. Fighting the warmongering politicians and pundits who seek to destroy life as we know it. Those irresponsible tweeting twit-heads. All right, before we get started, a quick house cleaning item. In my last episode, we discussed faith in China at a 35,000 foot level and some upcoming deep dives where we will actually visit some churches and a mosque here in Chongqing. We are still in the planning stages. I have contacted an attorney here in China to discuss the laws regarding faith here in China so you can better understand the government's rules when it comes to practicing one's faith here. Probably by the end of next week, I will make my first visit to a local church, so stay tuned. All right, without further ado, let's get started. By popular demand, Billy Joe Jim Bob has been asked to appear on today's episode. He's an opinionated right-wing prepper that pronounces America, America, and probably still lives in his mother's basement he calls his bug-out location. Billy Joe, thanks for joining us.
You were supposed to say I'm calling in from an undisclosed location. Now you've blown my cover, you communist sympathizer, you flip-flop licker.
Flip-flop licker, where'd you get that from?
They can't afford boots in China. They all wear flip-flops.
Well, you deserved it as much as you interrupted last week.
Yeah, I probably had it coming, but someone has to be on the front lines fighting sellouts like you. What are we talking about today?
Glad you asked. I'm going to pick on Gordon Chang again, our glorious poster child on how to hate China. In a recent tweet, our infamous warmonger tweeted, "China's war doctrine includes first strikes on American forces in Asia. But to prevent retaliatory strikes, China would also have to hit the American homeland. Our government, unlike China's, has no civil defense plans." End quote.
Did you have to read it that way?
A little drama never hurts. I would actually agree to some extent with what he said.
Oh, really? So now you're seeing the light. Now you're coming back to the Matrix, are you?
Let me explain, Captain Rowdy. I would assume most leading countries would have some kind of first strike plan. The US, Russia, and many other countries have these types of plans in place and have been in place for a long time, so there's nothing new here. Here's where Mr. Gordon goes array in his ability to militarily analyze the situation. And it doesn't take a military expert to figure this stuff out. Number one, for longer than 2 decades, the U.S. has been slandering China like an embittered wife would a cheating husband. And I'm not comparing or suggesting China is the cheating husband, but just trying to paint a picture of the militant sewage the U.S. has been spewing towards China. All the while, China has held out the olive branch. They want peace.
It ain't an olive branch. China's handing us black roses with titanium thorns, with them dipped in poison. Did you know black roses are associated with death and despair, hatred and revenge?
We just started, and you're off in left field. All right, as I was saying, China is seeking peace. Now, high-ranking Chinese officials have given the U.S. the Heisman, and I don't blame China.
Oh, come on. America was just kidding. They really didn't mean it.
Yeah, right. You get slandered, lied to long enough, you'll be forced to say, "Talk to the hand, bliatch." Gordon has definitely been a part of slandering China on Twitter. I mean, if you just go read his tweets, they're just insane. Like I said in the last episode, I think he's in a rubber room with a straitjacket, tweeting with his toes. It's just crazy. All right, so let's give you a little background on Mr. Chang. Mr. Chang, Gordon climbed out of the primordial tar pit back in 2011 when he authored The Fall of China. According to Wikipedia, Gordon Guthrie, that's his middle name.
Guthrie? That sounds like a Kentucky name. Now that explains why I like him so much.
It is definitely a hillbilly name.
Hey, now I resemble that.
All right, so Gordon Guthrie Chang, born July 5th, 1951, is a columnist, author, and lawyer. He is the author of The Coming Collapse of China, in which he attempted to predict the collapse of China and claimed that it would collapse by 2011. In December 2011, he changed the timing of the year of the predicted collapse to 2012. I wonder how many editorial changes he made since. Collapse of 2013. Dope! Collapse of 2014. Oh man. Collapse of 2015. Collapse of 2016, 17, 18, 19. Oh man. 20, 21, 22, 23. Dope! Keep trying, Gordon. Maybe someday you'll hit the trifecta. I think you're mad about lackluster sales, although I'm sure the CIA is paying you handsomely to be on Fox News and bash China as much as possible. Gordon, as well as many others, are always accusing China of being militarily aggressive and wanting to take over the world.
They want everybody eating rice and paying homage to Xi Jinping. They're sending spy balloons, military-aged men crossing the border with lethal chopsticks. Have you ever been popped in the head with a titanium chopstick? It is painful. It don't feel good. They've been sending spy toilets. They're sending spy cranes, spy balloons, thousands of secret offices where they help elderly update their driver's license. This is America. America, America, America. I will not be wearing wooden flip-flops and dancing with grandmas in the park.
Wooden flip-flops are from Japan, pal.
Oh, whatever.
China being militarily aggressive? Let's look at this illustration on how many bases are just in striking distance of China. The source is from Base Nation, which I believe is from a book titled Base Nation, How U.S. Military Bases Abroad Harm America and the World, written by David Vine. Now, I can't confirm this for sure, as I haven't read the book, but I also found similar maps where the source said Defense Department. If anyone can help me identify the source, I'll make the needed changes and give the appropriate acknowledgments. If you even Google how many bases around the world, you'll find anywhere from 700 to 1,000. This map shows how many bases America has within striking distance of China.
Yeah, but some of those places asked us to be there.
Doesn't matter. The bases are there and they're a threat to China. After 20 plus years of being slandered and so many bases around their own country, I'd be a little nervous too. Let's just flip the scenario. What if China had bases in Canada, Mexico, Panama, Honduras, and the Caribbean? American politicians would be squealing like 2-year-olds who had their binky taken away. They'd be digging up the Monroe Doctrine screaming war. What Gordon also fails to mention is China's military is for defense, whereas the U.S. has expeditionary forces. What does that mean? That means forces trained to invade other countries. The U.S. has invaded, where troops actually intervene, naval forces deployed, heavy CIA involvement in national elections, CIA overthrows leaders. We've become professionals at overthrowing countries. We will assimilate you. We ask the questions, not you. From 1945 to just 2004, the number comes to 60 plus engagements. Again, 1945 to 2004, 60 plus engagements. I'm not including from 2005 all the way to 2023. I'm sure if I did include those numbers, it would be well over 100.
Source. What's your source?
My source is globalpolicy.org, and I will provide a link so you and your troll buddies can check it out.
Don't refer to my CIA associates as trolls. They're people like you and me. We have children and that kind of thing.
All right. Can you see my point, people? China is surrounded by U.S. bases. They've been slandered for decades. I don't blame them for being prepared. Media pundits, politicians, and goobers like Gordon.
I like goobers. You got goobers here in the office? Would you shut up? I like boiled goobers. They're the best.
Would somebody get him a damn goober? As I was saying, media pundits, politicians, and goobers like Gordon seem to have this insatiable appetite to bring an end to the world. I tell people like Gordon he should pack up his camping gear and head off to Ukraine to fight on the front lines. But, cowards talk a good game. I don't think Gordon would make it as far as the thought, and then he'd probably soil his pants.
Oh, that's nasty.
I say to all the warmongering idiots, who are you to gamble with my family's life, risking my children going off to war, or even worse, entire cities being annihilated by a nuclear bomb? It's time to pursue peace, people. Be a part of the solution instead of flaming the fires of war. Now, on a positive note, I'm encouraged every day. Every time I pick up Twitter, I see fellow expats like myself who are out there defending and trying to promote peace. There are an estimated 1.6 million expats living in China, many who have heard the call to defend humanity, to show what is really happening in China. Like I said, I'm encouraged every day to see expats in China tweeting messages like the one I'm about to read to you. Angelo Giuliano, who is from Italy, and he's been here for like 15 plus years. Quote, 2018 in Chongqing, and it actually has a picture of him standing in Chongqing. Mind-blowing place, 31 million inhabitants, the most populated city in the world. Any foreigner going to China after the first 24 hours will change dramatically his perception on this amazing country. It is just different, humbling, makes you realize how ignorant we are and how China is shaping the world of tomorrow. It is not hegemonic, it is self-centered, and by that he means the country is focusing on delivering for its people. The Great Wall was in fact built because China wanted to be protected from invaders, not the other way around. For the collective West, there is a window of opportunity to change our hegemonic and arrogant policies and explore how we can work together rather than pursuing a zero-sum game, flirting dangerously with World War III and possible mutual annihilation. The only sustainable way is more democratic, multipolar world focusing on mutual prosperity, peace, and harmony.
Oh, he's a shill, too. Look at him. He's from Italy. He's probably part of the mafia. Oh, wait a minute. He's teaching the CPC how to be ruthless like the mafia. Imagine that, combining powers of the CPC and the mafia. That's like obtaining all 6 Infinity Stones in the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. China must be stopped.
Can someone turn off his mic? Who are you going to trust? People who live here and are genuinely concerned about the rhetoric being directed at China? Or are you going to trust the military-industrial complex controlling politicians and the media? Meditate on that for the next couple hours, all right? Or the next couple of days. That's it for me, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and if you feel led, we'd love a small donation via the PayPal link in the description below. I still haven't got my shill check from the CPC.
I knew it. Busted.
Pursue peace, people. The alternative sucks.